Yo, what to do, everybody? It's your boy Zabu here, and I thought I'd pick up a new game, so I tried the AI Limit demo, and I want to talk to you guys about my thoughts on the demo. So if you like RPGs, JRPGs, and things of that matter, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications, and let's do this. A little bit of background about the game. AI Limit is an anime Souls-like created by Chinese studio Sense Games. The project is to help out China-based developers with funding, marketing, and publishing their games. I think it's pretty cool because it's going to bring a lot of variety to the market and a lot of competition, and that's generally good in my opinion. So a little bit about the story. You start off in this post-apocalyptic world where the main character, her name's Arya, she's lost her memory, and I think she's some kind of like android, I'm not exactly sure. But basically you have to connect these branches or these bonfires or so that you can get your memory back and really find out who you are and what happened to your world. So now let's talk about the gameplay. This game is very interesting because it plays like a Souls-like. The movements, the actions, and everything, all that is definitely like a Souls game. You have your bonfires, you have your upgrades, you have your souls, but you do not have a stamina bar. For some reason, AI Limit was like, nope, we are not going to do the stamina bar thing. We are going to replace it for this thing called the sync rate. Now, the sync rate and the stamina bar are not the same. The sync rate is something you have to manage in AI Limit, and you manage it by staying in the optimal state. And the optimal state, what it basically does is it maximizes your attack. So the whole thing in this game is that you want to stay in optimal state and fight your enemies in the optimal state so you can dish out max damage. To stay in the optimal state, you have to use your melee weapons, and you get two sets of weapons, a primary set and a secondary set. And so basically you have to mix and match your melee weapons with your secondary weapons to make sure that you're in that optimal state. Now, some weapons and some abilities will decrease your sync rate, and some weapons and some abilities will increase your sync rate. For example, if you fire the cannon that's attached to your arm, your sync rate is going to go down because it uses the sync energy, and you might not be in optimal state anymore. So depending on where your optimal state lands, if it's 70% or 100% or whatever, you kind of want to stay in between those numbers, and you have to use your melee weapons, your abilities, and your blocking and stuff to kind of stay in that optimal rate so that you can maximize your damage. Oh, I almost forgot. You also lose sync rate when an enemy attacks you, and this game is not forgiving of that. The enemies in this game are actually a lot harder than I thought they would be. The enemies hit really hard, and I feel like I got caught into a lot of like combo strings and I couldn't break out of them. So I died quite a lot. And yeah, it wasn't fun for those parts, but other than that, the game combat is pretty solid. Like, it's pretty satisfying. I don't think at any point I was like feeling too exhausted from it. And trying to manage your sync rate and stay in the optimal state was pretty fun because you're kind of fighting, but then managing your bar and, you know, making sure that your character's at like peak performance. Now, a few of the things I didn't like about the combat, or I don't like about the combat, besides the getting caught in combo strings, is that some of the bigger enemies have attack animations that are kind of hard to predict. So they're hard to like block, or they're hard to understand when to parry. And I feel like those janky animations definitely need to be like polished a little bit before the game comes out. I feel like that would really help. But the art style in the game is really good. They decided to choose a cel-shaded kind of like Code Vein art style, which is nice. I think for like a Souls-like anime, that's like probably one of the perfect things to go for. However, it would have been nice to see some more environments than just the sewer level in this game. I feel like it was really dark and damp, and I get it, they're trying to set the mood for this like mysterious story about a post-apocalyptic future with robots and these like monsters, but I just found myself a little bored after a while. And it's not just the art that kind of like put me off to the environment, it's also like the music. There's barely any music in the game, and I'm hoping that the final version of the game is going to have some pretty decent music, because I was hoping for a really nice like kind of stoic soundtrack, but I didn't really get that. Now, the game does have costumes and armor sets, and I'm hoping that's going to be like a big thing, because who doesn't like just like finding an armor set and then gearing up and going to fight a boss looking super cool? I definitely enjoy it, and I feel like it'll add to the adventure aspect of the game. My final thoughts on AI Limit is that it's a game that the developers put a lot of passion and inspiration into. You can tell just by the mechanics in the game that these developers enjoy Souls-like games and they enjoyed making this game. And I feel like if you also enjoy a Souls-like game, then this is definitely right up your alley. The demo ran on my PS5 pretty well and it didn't have a lot of performance issues. The combat in the game is pretty solid and managing the sync rate bar for the optimal state was a lot of fun to do. My only issues are that the enemies hit really hard in this game, and maybe scaling them down a little bit would be easier. Some of the enemies' animations are kind of janky, and it was hard to block some of the moves during the fights. And the music and environments definitely need a little like more oomph to them. Maybe adding more music or any music at all at some parts would probably be better. And a lot of the environment I spent was in the like sewer area, and I'm hoping there are other levels and stages where it showcases like the beauty of the game. I can tell that the cell shaded style is definitely gonna like succeed, and the physics of the games were pretty good, but man, these sewer areas are not it to show that off. All in all, I think AI Limit's going to be a good game for those who want to like get a Souls-like experience in an anime world. Yeah, so we'll see how this game goes, and maybe we'll try it out later when it comes out. I want to know what you guys think though, so leave a comment down below and let's talk about it. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.